You have all the video cues and sound drops ready?
Clear to go.
Okie doke. Aaron, please tell me Spencer's here.
Yeah, he got here early.
What? Really? Oh, okay, count him down.
Okay, everyone, we're live in 5, 4, 3.
Cue to roll the open. Roll the open.
From around the corner and across the globe, it's the Safety Zone. Today's topic, automobile safety. And now your hosts, Spencer, Vivian, and Jeremy.
Hello and welcome. I'm Vivian.
I'm Jerem.
And I'm early.
Yeah.
We noticed. What's the occasion?
I just want to be with two of my favorite people. Oh. Well, at least one of them.
Huh?
Thank you. The Safety Zone is the only show dedicated to keeping our missionaries safe, secure, and healthy by using video replay and analysis. Jerem, what are we talking about today?
Apparently my relationship with Spencer later. But I'll give you a hint. In some missions, it's the #1 source of accident costs, and in other missions, it's no problem at all.
And I'll give you a hint. The announcer said it during the introduction.
Really?
I'm going to guess automobile safety.
Correct. So Spencer, among all auto accidents involving missionaries, what tops the list?
Tops the list?
The most common type of missionary auto accident.
We didn't have cars on my mission, so...
Wrong answer. Here's a little segment I like to call, What Were They Thinking?
What were they thinking?
Spot on.
Minor key.
What Were They Thinking is brought to you by Safety Moments. Going somewhere? Take a moment for a safety moment.
Nice pitch, man.
Thanks, Spencer. Watch this.
Do you happen to get that pamphlet?
Yeah, I have it.
Okay, we have to hurry.
Whoa, wait, stop!
What is it?
It's your water bottle.
Whoa!
Hey, stop!
Wait, why'd you freeze you to the good part? Did she stop the car? I'm hoping that she used her muscles and good intentions, but I'm highly doubting that happened.
Unfortunately, this sister was struck. The 12th time something like this has happened in the last year.
12 times? This sister?
No, not this sister, worldwide.
Oh.
So you're saying backing is a #1 type of accident?
That's right. Oh, but I don't mean backing over your companion, though that really does happen sometimes. Usually the backer gets pinned between the car and something solid, but purely for accidents involving cars. Backing is #1. Let's review what happened here and talk about the chain of bad decisions.
Chain of bad decisions?
Most serious accidents are the result of a chain of bad decisions. Break the chain by interrupting at any point, and the accident might never happen.
Okay, we have to hurry.
What's the first thing you notice?
These sisters are in a hurry.
Right. They're running late, so their minds aren't really focused on the task at hand. Now watch this. Okay, link #1 on the chain of bad decisions. In her rush, the driver leaves her water bottle on top of the car.
And here's the next link in the chain. Where is this sister's attention? Certainly not on the car, or she might have noticed the water bottle.
Okay, Spencer, what do you notice here? What's the next link in the chain of bad decisions?
I don't really notice anything. Oh, wait, hang on a second. You mean the seatbelt? She didn't put on her seatbelt.
Right. And if she had, she might have broken the chain later, as we will see.
This backing sister again, she's actually motioning to the driver while totally focused on that text message. I can't believe this.
Whoa, wait, stop!
What is it?
It's your water bottle.
The next link on a chain of bad decisions. What is the driver thinking about? Just one thing, her water bottle.
That kind of distraction can spell disaster. And now I see what you're talking about with the seatbelt. If she had to stop to take the seatbelt off, take that extra step, she probably would have noticed the car was still in gear.
And why doesn't her companion just come up and get the water bottle? She just stands and watches.
Right.
Whoa, hey, stop!
So a chain of bad decisions, the bottle, the cell phone, everything. If they would have stopped and broken the chain at any point, that poor sister in back might not have her leg in a cast today.
And the other would probably still have her driving privileges.
Distraction and disobedience. A chain of bad decisions. Those are elements of pretty much all auto accidents, not just backing. Here, take a look at this. Meet Elder Montoya and Elder Rudd. They became great friends serving together. One day they stopped at a drive-thru for lunch. Back on the road, Elder Montoya, who was driving, wanted some of Elder Rudd's French fries. Elder Rudd, trying to be funny, kept holding the fries just out of reach.
Oh, no.
They lost control and ran into a bus stop at almost 45 miles an hour.
A bus stop?
Miraculously, no one was waiting there when they hit it, but both elders were injured badly. They required surgery and extensive physical therapy. Needless to say, their missions ended early.
One tiny moment of distraction.
And one companion who didn't live up to his responsibilities as a co-driver.
That's a critical concept, a co-driver. Not just a passenger, but a co-driver. Our safest driving missionaries are those who act as a team, both watching for potential dangers. Here, watch this That's More Like It segment.
That's more like it.
Snappy.
Oh, watch the bike.
Oh, okay. Good find right there.
Yep, nice catch.
There's a man walking through it. You're gonna be careful. Watch out for him.
Good awareness right there.
Oh, he lost his shoes, his slippers.
Does anybody else notice that they're driving on the left side of the road?
In this country, they drive on the left side. Left is right.
Okay, I'll try and wrap my head around that.
Left is correct.
Watch the taxi.
Ah, better.
Oh, watch the police. Watch the.
I love the communication happening here.
Other, let's pull over real quick.
All right. What's up?
Okay, let's pause it here. I want you to pay attention to this.
Just on the GPS, it's telling us to go through Central. And remember President Zeno, he told us not to really go in that area.
Obedient missionaries.
And so I'm thinking it might be best if we take out through South Avenue, and it'll take us away from Central.
All right, yeah. And that's the same street that Daniel actually lives on, so it would be pretty good to go see him at that time as well.
Yeah, it would be. We can stop by.
All right, we can do that.
And see, they both look over their shoulders. They wait for a car to pass. They're both in the game.
Now that's what I call teamwork.
Yeah, well, I just found a clip that shows the exact opposite.
What?
What?
Yeah, Hank, you want to roll that footage?
What? Does anyone know what he's talking about? Vivian, take us to commercial break.
We are going to try to find that footage, and we'll be right back.
Coming up, Spencer's mystery footage. Don't go away.
Okay, we're out.
Dude, doing a great job with this topic, man. Great job. I don't know, I feel like we needed to spice it up a little. Hey, Hank, I filed it under the shared folder. Elder Applegate and Elder Cloward.
Spencer, I just don't think that's
Come on, this is what we do. We live on the edge. Get here just before the show starts. Minutes to spare.
That's not exactly what we do here.
And we're back. In 5, 4, 3.
Cue intro.
Welcome back to the Safety Zone. Now let's find out what Spencer is thinking.
What is he thinking?
Yeah, really, it's not about what I'm thinking, but what you're all going to think when you see what these two geniuses did. Hank, you ready with that clip?
Do you know where the phone is?
So these two were already driving too fast in a residential neighborhood when Elder Cloward started looking for a lost phone. Undoes his seatbelt while the car's moving and climbs over the seat to look for the phone in the back.
There it is.
If that's not dangerous enough, he blocked the driver's view. They ran a stop sign and nearly hit another car, a police cruiser, no less. They were lucky, no accident, no injury, but they were cited for excessive speed, running a stop sign, and failure to wear a seatbelt. Oh, and they lost their driving privileges.
Actually, that was a good clip to show. A good example of a bad example.
Oh, and I forgot one. They had a hefty fine that they had to personally pay.
You know, one thing missionaries don't think about is the legal mess they could get in.
True, even with minor accidents, there's always the risk of a lawsuit, the last thing a missionary needs. Well, we've reached that point in the show. It's time for...
Recap Rewind.
Recap Rewind. I'm hoping my co-host will help.
Of course.
Only if I'm not imposing.
Generally, no.
Okay.
First up, you've got to be a licensed, authorized driver to operate any vehicle. Any mission vehicle, that is. You never drive someone else's car. Not a member's car, not someone you're teaching, nobody's car, ever.
Next, obey the traffic laws. Be just as obedient to traffic regulations as you should be to mission rules. This will not only keep you safe, but ensure that you make a positive impression as a church representative.
And please, please wear your seatbelt. I don't care if you're just driving to the mailbox or backing up a few feet. Put your seatbelt on and make sure your companion and any other missionary passengers do as well.
So speaking of backing, yeah, I know, you never used a backer before your mission, but guess what? You never drove a church-owned vehicle before either. You might think using a backer is silly, but on average, about 10 missionary vehicles get damaged every day of every week of every year. Millions of dollars of damage. And the majority of preventable accidents are associated with improper backing. So always use a backer. Always. And finally, don't drive drowsy. It's a form of driving impaired. You're not thinking straight and your reaction time slows. So don't be a danger to yourself, your companion, and others on the road. Pull over if you need a break. Just don't drive drowsy. Now, in case everything you've heard today sounds like good theory and kindly advice, let's get a dose of reality.
Let's get real.
Many of us know that feeling. You're driving and you're a little tired and you can feel yourself start to nod.
I can't stand that feeling. It's really scary, actually. Your head bobs and you catch yourself and your eyes get wide and you breathe big. Maybe you roll down the windows, get some of that air coming in, trying anything to keep yourself awake.
And then you keep on driving when you really should just pull over. Well, here's a missionary who learned this lesson the hard way.
On November 6th, 2015, I received a call. They called and said, 2 of your missionaries have been in an accident.
At the time, I had been out about 5.5 months.
They'd worked hard that day, gotten up early in the morning to attend a training meeting a couple hours north of where their pad was at.
Elder Jensen was driving, and he was driving because his companion, a Filipino, did not have a driver's license.
We had just had lunch. It's Hawaii, so it's warm, it's humid. It's the middle of the day, the sun's out, and I gotta squint my eyes all the time, so my eyes were tired. Didn't have any music going. My companion was asleep at the time, which is against mission rules, but it happens a lot more than you'd think.
It rains a lot there. It's very jungle-like. The roads are windy, they're hilly, and they're narrow. You have to be at full attention to navigate those roads safely.
As I was driving, I could feel myself falling asleep. It was the bobbing of the head. But we were so close to our apartment, I was sure I was fine. There wasn't a problem with it. You have that moment where you realize that you're not awake, you're not conscious. And I snapped back too as I heard the tires kicking up gravel on the side of the road.
The next thing you knew, they were off the side of the cliff.
As we went down, things definitely slowed down in my mind. My thoughts were racing. The biggest thing that was going through my mind was that there was nothing I could do about this now. I was powerless. What was happening was going to happen. I couldn't fix it. And we bounced off the cliffside at one point. The windshield gets smashed in. It was some of the loudest noises I've ever heard in my life. I just remember not knowing where the bottom was. I mean, you couldn't see through all the trees. It was too thick. Eventually, the windshield was just gone, and we were just hitting trees, and then we hit the bottom. As we went over the cliff, my companion had remained asleep. After we hit the bottom, we were hanging from our seatbelts. And I remember the first thing I did after everything stopped moving was I looked over at him just to watch him hanging from his seatbelt, bleeding unconscious. Just for a split second, I thought I'd killed him. And after a second, I knew he was okay, but that second of wondering if you'd, killed him,
Elder Jensen struggled with it because he felt that he was responsible not only for the damage to the truck, but potentially, what could have happened to him and his companion as far as their lives.
After they did manage to get us out, they whisked us away to the hospital.
When we first saw both missionaries, they were in separate cubicles, and both were very composed, but you could tell that they were in noticeable pain.
My companion had gotten a concussion and some scratches and bruises. For the most part, he was fine, which was great.
Speedy here, slow here.
I had bruised my lungs pretty bad. I was coughing up blood for a while after. I'd broken my back and I'd bruised a lot of bones.
But there was a lot of concern about Elder Jensen and the fracture in his vertebrae, and so they kept him for 4 or 5 days. They released him, and he stayed with the Rosses for approximately 4 or 5 days.
It became apparent to us that he was going to go home. I don't think he came to terms with that until the phone rang, and it was President Warner. He gave the phone to Elder Jensen, and he told him he was going to have to go home.
The idea of going home early was just painful. I don't know. I didn't like it.
And I could feel that anguish that had been building for the 10 days or so that he was with us. That came to fruition. And I think for him, it was devastating.
And unfortunately, he was not able to come back on his mission. It took him about a year to fully recover from that.
After I got home, they had diagnosed me with post-traumatic stress disorder. They said that between the break and having to recover from that and post-traumatic stress, they said, you know, you might want to consider just staying home. I had wanted for so long to go on a mission. I'd planned on 2 years. I had this idea going out that I was going to be gone for 2 years. And in a moment, I mean, all of it just turns around. Every plan that I had was gone. I think about what happened a lot, what I could have done differently. What if I'd kept my companion awake? What if we had decided to just talk about anything rather than just kind of doze off after lunch? All the times that I'd noticed that I was falling asleep, that, you know, you kind of bob a little bit. What if I had pulled over? There's just so many infinite number of things that I could have done differently that I think about.
It's a long way down.
These were 2 good missionaries. These were not missionaries that were slackers or disobedient. This could have happened to any of the missionaries, elders or sisters.
I know that Heavenly Father preserves missionaries' lives and can protect us, but we definitely have a responsibility to do everything we can to follow rules and to be diligent and to be exact in being obedient.
Yeah, you want to serve with all your heart, mind, and strength, you know, nonstop, keep going. But you can't do that if you drive off a cliff, if you drive asleep, if you hit someone with your car, get in any kind of accident. You're not serving at your full capacity.
I feel for that missionary, wondering if even for a few seconds, if he'd caused the death of his companion. Think about that some more. What if his companion had died?
All that remorse and the lasting effects even to this day.
You need to understand, the tiniest wrong decision can change your whole life, not to mention what it can do to others. When you're behind the wheel, stay alert, stay aware. Be obedient to traffic laws and mission rules. Your job is to keep you, your companion, and other drivers, cyclists, and pedestrians safe.
Good counsel, Jerem. Well, that's it for this episode. Make sure you tune in next time. We'll see you here on the Safety Zone.
Thanks for joining us in the Safety Zone. We'll see you next time.